Hi everybody, this is Oksana. So if you watched my unboxing video a little while ago, you remember this little stone, this little square labradorite, and a lot of people said they would love to see that one wrapped because it is a square shape, and I might not even have any videos on a square stone. I know I have rectangular ones. So I decided I thought it looked really pretty. Instead of having it, you know, like your typical square, I would put it like this, like a little diamond. And this is what I came up with. So if you want to see how I made this pendant, just keep watching. The wire I'm going to be using is 20 gauge square dead soft copper from RioGrande.com. And I'm going to be using 3 pieces for my base wires, and they are, let me measure them, about 11 inches. And then I'm also going to be using some half round wire for all the connections. This is 22 gauge. I know it doesn't say that here because it's got the millimeter measurements, but this is a 22 gauge half round wire. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold these way back so I can figure out roughly where the middle is. Just all 3 of these together. They should line up nicely because they're square and they got the flat sides. And then I'm taking the half round wire and I'm doing it the flat side down. I'm just grabbing an end and I'm wrapping that little end around to make the connection. Now if you're doing it like me, I don't know why I just kind of got in the habit of grabbing like a little tail end and wrapping it around, then you can just kind of make it go around and around. But if your tail end is too small and you end up needing to use this wire here that's connected to the spool, you can't just go around and around with it because it's going to get twisted because it's connected to the spool. So what you have to do is you have to hold it still, guide it with your hand so it doesn't flip from the flat side down, and then you move the other 3 wires. Just kind of go around and around so the half round wire ends up lying flat. And then once you've done this a few times, you don't need to do it, you know, very much. Maybe like 5-6 times. I think mine is a little more. You trim the little wire ends so they're both on the same side, and then you press them down with your pliers. So this way, this is going to be the inside of our frame that touches the stone, and the wire ends will be hidden. Alright, so if I grab my stone here, just trying to figure out the best way to position it. So I think it's going to be like this because the window's here. So if I'm holding it kind of straight and the light source is coming at it for the best flash, I think I need to hold it like this. Alright, so now that that's been established, I'm going to note where the little wire ends are because that's going to be our inside. So have the inside facing up, grab our little wrap kind of in the middle there, and make a little bend since we have an angle in our stone. Alright, now I'm going to grab my stone. Alright, so that angle is a little too sharp. My stone has really kind of wide angles. Is this the way I was holding it? Yeah. There we go. That is much better. So I've just kind of opened it up a little bit. So then you want to just put it down on a flat surface so you don't struggle like me trying to do this in the air. But basically I'm just trying to bend all of these wires around that second set of angles, those side ones. All right. Okay, so then once you have them bent around your stone, that was a struggle for me, doing it in the air this time around. I know I always do it, but probably because of the shape of the stone. Then you just want to bring them together at the top, and that is going to be where our bale is going to go. So let me just grab my half round wire and let me wrap it around. Ooh, sorry, I hit my camera there. Let me zoom in. And I will just wrap it around. You want these to just line up nicely. So 3 wires and on one side, 3 wires on the other side. Kind of arrange them so they're just right on top of each other. And then after you make a few wraps with your half round wire, you pull it through the middle. And I like to just kind of pull. Let me grab my wire cutters, and then I just get right in there and I trim that off like that. And then I'm just gonna go over that just to press it down and get it all nice and squished. All right, so now I know I always do the bale as these front 2 wires, but just to mix things up, I'm gonna do it as these 2 wires instead. So the middle wire, so if you just separate it out, this is the front, you bend the front wires forward, then you have these wires in the middle, and then you have the ones in back. It's the ones in the middle. If you hear little noises, that's my puppy. He is sitting next to me and chewing on a piece of dog food. All right, so, oh, and I'm sorry, I wanted to apologize in the beginning of this video too that I missed last weekend. I've been so good about not missing any weekends with my videos for quite a few months now, but then last weekend I just couldn't do it because I normally will record my videos during the week when my kids are at school. But actually here in Adelaide, we actually haven't had any lockdowns here until recently. That was our first like real lockdown, and it was for 7 days, and you can go to like the grocery store and stuff, but you couldn't, you know, go to like the gym, or most of the stores in the mall were closed except for grocery stores. Oh, by the way, I'm just wrapping this for my bale. So basically, what I'm trying to say is there was no school and my kids were home, and I had to do homeschooling with them. So I just couldn't record a video because even if I finished like the home learning that I was supposed to do with them, it was given to us by the school. They were still, you know, here in the house, and it was just too loud to be able to record a video. So that's why I missed making a video. And it's not like my husband could take them to the playground or anything because the playgrounds were closed as well. But it all went well. The lockdown went well, and it was successful, and now we're open back up and the kids are back in school. So, and if you're watching this video like way further down the road, right now is July 2021, and I'm in Adelaide, South Australia, and we're just having it here now. So these very back wires, I'm grabbing them, and I want to just bend them down to get rid of them, but the best way to do that is to put a little bend in them and then push them down like this. I find that that's a way better way to get them super flat against the other wires. And then you can just kind of press them down a little. So now, before I proceed with my bale and my decorations, I'm just gonna lock my stone in. I think it was supposed to be this way, yeah. So I'm gonna go in the back here. I'm gonna grab these back wires, and I'm just putting a little bend in them, like this, so that they trap the stone in. from the back, and this one as well. All right, so now that it's locked in the back, we just have to lock it from the front by pulling that frontmost wire a little bit forward and then wedging our pliers in there and making a little bend on both sides. And if you notice, my little bend made the wire, it's kind of raised there. There. You can see it's raised, so you just want to push that down so it's nice and flat against your stone. All right, so the stone is all set now. It's really up to you how you do all this top stuff. There's so many different ways. If you liked a particular design from one of my other videos, you can do that. It's really all about the frame getting, you know, a square stone to work versus a different type of stone. But I'll do something different. I've been thinking what I'm going to do in the front here. And I'm actually going to bend these wires forward, and then you can either just try to be super careful or get a little piece of cloth to put over them so you don't scratch them with your pliers. I'm just going to try and be super careful because I forgot to grab my cloth. And if you do get like a little ding in them, you can just use some sandpaper and buff that out. So I'm just making them flat. I'm just pressing them down flat. There we go. I'll just have to sandpaper them a teeny bit later because I didn't use a cloth. So there we go. And I'm just going to kind of bend them this way to the side. And then with my bail, so the bail is going to be going this way. You can use bail making pliers to help you, or you can just bend them with your finger, or if you have round nose pliers to get that nice rounded shape. We're just pulling them through to the front. So now, here in the front, we have basically 4 wires coming out the front here, 2 and 2. So what I'm gonna do is with the bail ones, it's important to kind of hold your bail shut, because as you move these, it moves the bail. So you want to hold your bail shut, or you're going to accidentally like make the bail stick out the back there. So as I hold it shut, I'm kind of bending these to the side like that. So this would actually be really pretty if you want it to be like a really simple, elegant look. I think that would look really nice, and it would be kind of unisex as well and not too swirly. If you were to bend these wires now just to the back and then just trim them and tuck in the little wire ends. Look at that. I really like that. I'm actually going to do that with this side so I can demonstrate, but if you do it with both sides, that would be really pretty. But on the other side, I'm going to do some swirls to give you that option. If you are a person that really likes swirls, you can do that with this design as well. So just shutting these little loops closed here on the back, so the wire's just going around, and then the wire ends are being tucked in there, tucked away. And then with this, I'm just gonna make a nice little swirly loop. Let's see, I'm just gonna use my pliers to help me. There we go, because it was being really large. I wanted a small loop. There we go. No, I think I want it to be even smaller. Sorry. I'm feeling very indecisive today. There. Okay. So now I'm taking this wire. Same thing, bringing it to the back, trimming it off, and then grabbing that little wire end and just pushing it, bending it in there, and pressing it down in there, like that. And now with this wire, so you can just do the same thing if you like the way it's looking as of right now. Or if you are just thinking one swirl is just not enough swirls, you can make another swirl, which is what I'm trying to do here. So I don't know if I like that. I'm gonna try and make it a little more rounded like the other one, because right now it's kind of a teardroppy shape. There we go. I'm just trying to bend this whole wire so it kind of follows along. All right, so this wire is just kind of following along here on this curve, following this other one that swirls, and then I have a little swirl here, and I'm just pressing down on my swirl so it doesn't move out of place as I move this wire to the back. And now when you do this, just be mindful where the area to tuck in your wire is, which is right up here where you have this gap. So don't bring this wire like way down and make the swirl here, because then when you come here, there's no space to tuck away the little wire end. So just be mindful of that. I'm trying to keep everything up there near this little gap. So then I'm taking this little wire end and I am tucking it away. It's raining outside, so hopefully it's not too dark in this video because the weather is just terrible today. And now you can see this, these wires that we cut, they're just kind of sticking out. So I'm just going to arrange my bail a little better. I'm just going to fix it up. There we go. Perfect. Now it's all good from the back, and from the front it is completed. We've got our two little swirls, just kind of a very simple pendant this time around, but this is how I decided to wrap this little square. So hopefully this was helpful to you if you also have a little square stone that you're kind of brainstorming about what to do with. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.